Good afternoon. I'm sure most of you remember about 2.5 weeks ago I had a little bit of a panic attack after consuming an energy drink prior to class and prior to my speech. I had anxiety, I was nauseous, I was fidgety, and I was also very jittery, which led me to do some research on caffeine effects. So, before we get going, I'm going to need 2 volunteers. Don't be shy. Logan and Tank. Alright, so what you guys are going to do is you're going to tell me which drink has more caffeine and why. Tank, go ahead and start.
Say the energy drink, because that's the main purpose of the whole beverage.
Okay, it's an interesting point. What about you, Logan?
I'm going to say Starbucks because you wouldn't expect it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, mind blows for you, Tank. Here we go. Monster with 86 and Starbucks with 195. Now, the reason why I would say, yes, Monster, as far as caffeine, has less, but it also has other artificial additives that are supposed to increase focus even more, or energy even more, which isn't very healthy for you. But the thing is they always list the amount of caffeine that they have on their drinks in the can. But whereas at Starbucks, you can go in and get, I'm sure most people probably go medium to large, anywhere ranging from a light roast coffee to a dark roast could be anywhere from 90 milligrams of caffeine to 250 milligrams of caffeine. And that is a lot of caffeine and a lot of jitteriness. Now, how many of you consume caffeine on a daily basis, by a show of hands? Well, my research has been sufficient. Most of the class consumes caffeine on a regular basis, but do most of us know the effects it has on our body? It is also very abused in the United States, most especially by college students. I'm interested in this topic because as somebody who rarely consumes caffeine, I found that after doing my research, there are many health benefits to consuming caffeine if consumed the right way. Today I'm going to inform you of the positive effects of caffeine as well as the negative effects, and we'll be ending with the use and abuse in the United States in that order. The most common forms of caffeine are found in energy drinks and coffee. Caffeine is very effective in providing energy and enhancing memory, and is mostly used for a source of energy and alertness. While caffeine is most widely known for providing energy to the body and mind, Caffeine Informer states that the risk of throat and mouth cancer is decreased by nearly 50% when consuming caffeinated coffee. Also, another article listed by Caffeine Informer states that caffeine can cut your risk of having a stroke by almost 22%. These articles show the hidden health benefits of caffeine and what it can do for us. Now, since we've discussed some of the benefits, let's move on to some of the negatives that caffeine has to offer us. It can be very harmful if it is abused. Overusing caffeine can lead to insomnia and mood swings. Too much caffeine is the main cause of sleeplessness in college students. So if you're not getting any sleep, lay off the caffeine for sure. Overdoses of caffeine can include maniac episodes, panic attacks, hallucinations, and even delusions. Consuming as little as 200 milligrams a day of caffeine can alter the chemistry in the brain. And all of our brains are still developing at this age, so that's not very good. Another 100 milligrams of caffeine can lead to increased anxiety, panic disorders, muscle twitching, irregular heartbeat, and depression. There's also many more, but it'd be a really long list. Now, let's take a look at the use and the abuse of caffeine in the United States. Caffeine is frequently abused in the United States, especially by college students. Over 78% of college students consume over the recommended amount of caffeine daily. This may be what contributes to high levels of depression in college students because, as we saw earlier, the abuse of caffeine can lead to an increased risk in depression. An article by Health Research states that over 21 million Americans consume 6 cups of coffee or more on a daily basis. Now, I found this very interesting because the recommended use is 4 cups or less. Another statistic by Health Research also states that 3 out of every 4 caffeine users can be considered to be addicted to the substance. In conclusion, today we have discussed that caffeine and the recommended amount of usage can have many health benefits. Overall, abuse of caffeine is becoming an epidemic across the United States that should most definitely be slowed down. Now that you have more knowledge of the effects and usage of caffeine, I hope you will be more careful when using caffeine and use it in the correct dose. I don't believe you should cut caffeine from your diet, but I do believe we should watch how we consume it. Thank you.
Okay. Connor, how was that for you?
I caught myself going a little faster towards the end. But, because when I practiced, I was like 5:30, 5:45, and then I was a little quicker than that, I think. But I tried to work on the fidgeting, I kept catching myself and told myself to stop. Other than that, I thought it went okay.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Teammates.
I think